Hello all, welcome to the another lecture of communication module. In today's lecture, we will discuss the evolution of mobile radio communication. In this lecture, first of all, we will discuss about first generation, then what were the features and the drawbacks in that generation due to which second generation has to come, then the features and drawbacks of second generation, then third generation and so on. So let us start. If we talk about first generation, for all the generation we will talk on some particular points. First point that we should keep in our mind is that what type of data was transmitted in that particular generation. First of all, being a student or being a learner, you need to recall in your mind that which type of data was sent in that particular generation which you are studying. So in the first generation, the first generation was meant for voice transmission. So the first point that should come into our mind while reading first generation is that it was used for voice transmission, or you can say speech transmission. Then the second point that should come into our mind is the modulation technique that was used. So the modulation technique that was used for speech transmission in first generation was frequency modulation technique, and that too analog. So analog frequency modulation was used for speech transmission in first generation. Then the third point that should come into our mind whenever the word first generation comes is that the sharing technique. As there are multiple users in each standard, because there might be multiple users who will be wanting the speech transmission, so therefore we need to divide the spectrum. So the spectrum has to be shared. So that sharing is based on FDMA technique in the case of first generation. So whenever you are asked about any of the generations, first of all you should remember what type of data was transmitted in that generation. Then the second one is what type of modulation scheme is used, and the third one is spectrum sharing technique. So FDMA stands for frequency division multiple access. This could be explained like this. See, this is time and this is frequency. That means the spectrum. Alright. So if the spectrum is shared on FDMA techniques, so the frequency division multiple access means the division of frequency will be done. That means if there are 5 users or 6 users, then this spectrum will be divided accordingly, and each user will be allotted a particular frequency band. This is user 1, this is user 2 and user 3, so on. So each of the users are allotted a particular frequency band, and that band is available to them for the whole time period. That means they can, on their wish, based on their wish, they can transmit the signal anytime. So this channel, user 1 is allotted some particular channel, so the frequency has been divided here. So here each slot is available to each user for the whole time period. So that is called frequency division multiple access. You can remember it like that. If you are taking the word frequency division multiple access, then frequency will be divided. Okay. So this is how the spectrum is shared in the case of first generation. Now the problems that you will see over here is, in the first point itself you can encounter the problem. That is, that modulation scheme used here is analog frequency modulation. And we all know that analog signals have certain disadvantages over digital signals. And the main disadvantage is the privacy. That means, as the frequency modulation scheme is analog, therefore here the security and privacy measures will not be there. So security and privacy measures were not provided here. So that was the major disadvantage. And security and privacy measures were not provided. That means I can give you an example. For example, if a receiver tune into a particular frequency, so the transmission that is going on over that particular channel, the receiver will be able to hear all that conversation. So if user 2 wants to listen, just look at the right hand side diagram. If user 2 wants to listen the conversation of user 1 or the signal transmission that it is sending, then it can tune to the frequency of user 1. So analog modulation in the case of this standard, you can say first generation, you don't have any security and privacy measures. The second thing is, the second disadvantage is that, for example, user 1 is not transmitting any data. So this particular band has been allotted to user 1 for the whole time period. If user 1 is not transmitting any data in the time period, that means that particular spectrum is completely a waste. So here spectrum inefficiency will be there. So this is called spectrum inefficiency. That means the use of spectrum is not efficient. So if any of the users is not desiring or it's not sending any data over the channel which has been allotted to that particular user, so that particular band is completely a waste, which could be used by some other user who is really in need. So this is called spectrum inefficiency. So this generation is spectrum inefficient. That means the use of spectrum is not done efficiently here. So these are the major features and the problems that were discussed in first generation. And now comes the standards. So standards means that follows the features and the drop all the particular features of the first generation. So different standards means they were followed in different countries and they came in different years. So I will name some of them. One is NTT. NTT stands for Nippon Telegraph and Telephone. Telegraph and Telephone. Nippon Telegraph and Telephone System. I'm sorry, it is opposite. It's Nippon Telephone and Telegraph. Nippon Telephone and Telegraph System. And it was used in Japan. And it came in 1979. So it was NTT. Other one is NMT, that is Nordic Mobile Telephone System, and it was used in Europe in 1981. Another one was ETACS, that is European Total Access Cellular System. It was also used in Europe in 1985. And the last one is AMPS, that is Advanced Mobile Phone Services, and it came up in 1985 and it was used in major parts of the world. So these were the different standards of first generation. You can just name them up. It's not necessary to cram them, but yes, you must know and recall the features and the drawbacks of first generation. Then came second generation. Second generation, which you call 2G. Okay. Now the first thing, as I discussed in the first generation, first of all we should remember what type of data is being transmitted. So second generation was also meant for voice transmission. First of all we should remember it. Second thing, the modulation scheme. The modulation scheme here is digital. So it is digital modulation scheme. And the third thing that we should remember is the spectrum sharing technique. So the spectrum sharing was based on TDMA this time and CDMA. So let's quote them down. So second generation uses digital modulation for voice transmission. and as you can see here, the digital word has come, which means a sequence of 1 and zeros. That means here the data will be more secure. So due to the digital modulation scheme, the data is secure here. And the second feature is the spectrum sharing is based on TDMA, that is time division multiple access, and CDMA, that is code division multiple access. So we'll discuss what is TDMA and CDMA. As I have drawn the graph above also, it is time, it is frequency. In the first generation, it was FDMA, that is frequency division multiple access. So frequency was being divided. But here it is time division multiple access. So time will be divided. Let's see. For example, we have multiple users. So this time, the time slot will be divided. This time slot will be for user 1. That means user 1 is allowed to transmit the signal only in this time slot, and for this time slot the whole spectrum is available to user 1. So here time slots are being divided. In the same manner, user 2 is allotted a time slot, and in the time slot of user 2, the user 2 will be allowed to transmit the signal only in his or her own particular time slot that has been allotted, and in that particular time slot the complete spectrum is available to that particular user. So here frequency is not divided, in fact the time is divided. And in the above case, that was FDMA, the frequency was divided because it was frequency division multiple access. So same is the case for user 3, user 4 and so on. So I hope you must have understood the concept of TDMA and FDMA. Now what is CDMA? Full form is code division multiple access. Here you will be dividing the spectrum to the multiple users and you will be assigning each user a specific code. So in the case of CDMA, I'll only tell you about an overview. For example, this is a channel. Okay, this is a channel and there are 4 users: station 1, station 2, station 3, station 4. These 4 users want to access this channel. Now every user will be allotted a specific code, that is C1, C2, C3, C4, and each code is unique. So they will be allotted the code and on the basis of the codes they will be accessing the channel. So that was just an overview. Later on we will study CDMA in detail. So we are reading because our main topic is second generation. So the first feature that should come to our mind for second generation is what type of data is being transmitted, what type of signal is being transmitted. So it is meant for voice transmission. The second thing is the modulation scheme, that is digital modulation scheme. And the third one is the spectrum sharing technique, which is TDMA and CDMA in the case of second generation. So the drawback of privacy and security in first generation has been overcome in the case of second generation. Now let's name some of the standards of second generation. The standards of second generation, some of them are GSM, which is important because it is separately in our syllabus, that is Global System for Mobile, and it is important also, Global System for Mobile. The second one you can say is IS-136. Every standard will be having the same features, that means the features of second generation. And yes, let me tell you, because the second feature of second generation is that the spectrum sharing is based on either CDMA or TDMA. So we should also tell that or discuss that which standard is using which spectrum sharing technique. So GSM is based on TDMA. Similarly, IS-136 is another standard and it stands for interim standard. Interim standard, IS stands for, and interim standard 136. Again, it is based on TDMA. Then the third one is PDC. that is Pacific Digital Cellular, again based on TDMA, and there was only one standard which was based on CDMA. It was named as 2G CDMA, so it was named by the name CDMA itself, or Interim Standard 95. So it was based on CDMA. So the three standards were based on TDMA, and there was only one standard of second generation which was based on CDMA technique, and that was on the name itself, that is 2G CDMA or IS 95. So these were the second generation features. Now after that came 2.5 generation. It's not third generation, it was 2.5 generation. So why 2.5 generation? Why was it so called? Why 2.5G and not 3G? Because the second generation features were kept as it is, and some other different features, some unique features were added to it. So it was named as 2.5 generation, not as third generation, because if it would have been third generation, the features would have changed completely. So but it was not the case. The second generation was kept as it is and some add-ons were added. So therefore it was named 2.5G and not 3G. So why 2.5G? Because 2G was kept as it is, and some additional features were added. Now what was the requirement to add the additional features? That means what were the problems in the second generation so that 2.5 generation has to come? So why these additional features? As you can see that in the case of second generation, the only signal that you are able to transmit is for, that means the second generation was only meant for voice transmission. And now the user demands have started to increase. If any user wants the web applications like browsing the internet, emailing, so therefore in that particular case the data rates need to increase. So the data rates in the second generation were low, and if any user wants to access the web applications also, then the data rate needs to increase. So that was done in the case of 2.5 generation. So in 2G, small data rate was provided, small data rate, and it was only 10 kbps, up to 10 kbps was provided. But for web applications, as I have told you, like browsing the internet or emailing, the data rates, high data rates were required. So data rate required was high. So some additional features were given on the base stations to increase the data rate. So some additional features were given to the base station to increase the data rate. Okay, so how was it upgraded? So the mobile phones that were meant for second generation and the users were using them, so they were given a software update. Alright, so the mobile phones were given a software update, and in this form the second generation mobile equipments were used for 2.5 generation also. So that was only given a software update. So all the base stations were given a software update and the data rates were increased so that they can now even use the web applications. So the standards here also, now I will name some of these standards here also. as were named in second generation and first generation. Most important one is GPRS, that is General Packet Radio Service. Again, it was using TD because all the features of second generation are same. So some standards will be using TDMA scheme and some will be using CDMA, some will be using TDMA. The modulation scheme is same, that is the digital modulation scheme. Now the only difference between second generation and 2.5 generation is that the data rate has increased now, and the 2.5 generation equipments can now be used for even web applications. And instead the second generation was only used for voice transmission. So this you have to remember. So one is GPRS, other one is HSC-SD, that is high speed circuit switched data. Again it was using TDMA. Then there was another standard, that is H, enhanced data rate for GSM evolution. Again it was using TDMA. And the last one which used CDMA in second generation, that was named as, remember the second generation CDMA standard was 2G CDMA. So that 2G CDMA got converted to 2.5G CDMA, and the other name was IS95 for that 2G CDMA. So it became IS95B CD, 95B only. So it was 2.5G CDMA or IS95B, it was using CDMA. So all these standards also got upgraded. So that is all about the 2.5 generation. Now comes last one, third generation. Now as the user demands are increasing day by day, now they want live music also, interactive web sessions were also required, conferences with multiple users were also required. So the demands were increasing, but we have very limited band and very limited frequency to transmit all these signals. Data rates were also very limited. So what happened? The International Telecommunication Union, which is a you can say an organization which decides some standards worldwide, that decided that 2000 megahertz will be a global frequency that will be used worldwide. So it is the common frequency which will be used globally all over the world. So the first point is, as user demands increased, like demand for music, for conferences, for live web sessions where people can interact with each other. So hence the International Telecommunication Union, note down the full form, it is International Telecommunication Union, decided that 2000 megahertz will be a common frequency which will be used worldwide, and hence the standard which was developed keeping this in mind was IMT 2000, International Mobile Telephone 2000 was developed. So this was the standard which was developed. But the problem in 2G, what was the problem in 2G and 2.5G? That they were based on spectrum sharing technique TDMA and CDMA. So that has to be also upgraded. So the CDMA of 2G and 2.5G became CDMA 2000 here. So CDMA of 2G and 2.5G became CDMA 2000 here in the case of third generation, and the TDMA standards of 2G and 2.5G What were the standards of TDMA of second generation and 2.5 generation? That was GSM, GPRS, PDC, IS 136, IS 95, IS 95B. And IS 136, PDC. I have combined all the TDMA standards of second generation and 2.5 generation. So they all got converted to WCDMA, that means wideband CDMA. So they all got upgraded to CDMA 2000 and WCDMA respectively. Now what was the vision of IMT 2000, or you can say now, as you have seen that International Telecommunication Union gave a common standard, that was IMT 2000. So what was the IMT 2000 vision, or you can say features? First of all, a common spectrum worldwide was available. A common spectrum worldwide was available now, ranging from 1.8 gigahertz to 2.2 gigahertz. And now the telecommunication services, there is a wide range of telecommunication services. Now everything is included, from data, from voice transmission, from music, from internet. So wide range of telecommunication services are now included. Everything, you have now voice, data, internet, multimedia. You can transmit now anything. And the data rates were also increased. Now the data rates are increased up to 2 Mbps, which were suitable to transfer any of these signals. Now there is also global seamless roaming. Global seamless roaming means if one person is moving from one country to another, he can use the same mobile handset and he can use the same service provider. That is called global seamless roaming. Alright, worldwide you can travel anywhere. You can use the same handset, you can use the same service provider. So that is global seamless roaming mean, and that was available in third generation, and enhanced security and performance. So these were the features of IMT 2000, that was the standard named in third generation by International Telecommunication Union. So there a common frequency, that is 2000 megahertz, was used worldwide. The telecommunication services has a wide range. Now the data rates has improved up to 2 Mbps. There is global seamless roaming, and there is enhanced security and performance. So this was all about the evolution of mobile radio communication, from where we moved from first generation to second generation, from second to 2.5, and from 2.5 to 3. So I hope that you all must have understood. Thank you all.